Ow, 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 ow.
Alright, sorry. Alright, no conversation today then. We're just going to be talking about memories.
Alright.
Well, I really want to talk about topics of childhood memories and games. Because to be honest, that's how me and you really kind of know each
Yeah.
other now.
Yeah. You see, I really remember from the cat days, the first game I played with you was Naruto, I think Clash of the Ninja.
Clash of the Ninja, that's Naruto.
Yeah, Clash. That was the first
That's-
3 games.
That's the party style Naruto, ain't?
Right, yes. And it was the GameCube thing, and you could switch partners, I believe. And it was so difficult for me, I didn't like that at all. And I remember you beat me a couple of times, and I played Levi once or twice, but he done way advanced, and I never like that.
No, well, for me, those games wasn't right on my serious games. I used to really love going and got to play Lineage 2,
Yeah, I love that.
Dota, but I never used to play Dota for Dota. No, I used to play Dota for more like the
Just the kind of friend vibe where all of us
no.
together.
They have like different vibe, but they have Dota as in the big competition version. But then you had like these player generated maps. That
Yeah.
were crazy times, and I used to love playing that particular game now. Yeah, got Hot Some Real Strange Days, and then they closed down.
Yeah, just so boy.
And I know we was trying to bring back the culture because it was a complete different experience after they closed down. Because I remember trying to go to the next cafe with Desk because I know you through Levi, and Levi was a real serious gamer. He followed from Gat to Desk to Green. What was it? Green Dot?
Yeah,
The
but
one on the new street.
yeah,
And
that one wasn't too
that
to
one
put together.
That one was stress. And then I tried to start up by going by Techno Junkies now. Like we were trying to really build the gaming industry and making that experience we had when we was growing up.
But it have a couple of internet cafes right now doing well.
I don't even like calling them internet cafes, to be honest. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you're calling them internet cafes, you're basically putting them in a state of obsolescence.
Oh, right.
Because everybody had the internet now, right? Why would
Right.
you really go to a cafe? I mean, yeah, you'll have...
It's more called a gaming cafe now.
No, I don't think I've met some gaming cafes. Well, I don't know. I haven't been in the industry heavy like that because I went into the whole game development section.
Right.
And that's more studio work and finding out how to build prototypes and stuff of games.
Well, I know a place in Marvel that does that, and it had a few places here and there that a couple of my friends own. And it's been doing good. The computers, everybody had that game together thing, but it's more expensive now because you can't have the way it used to be.
What do you think about? No, I kind of want to drive it, but what do you think about games? Like on a real, how games impact you? Because it seriously impact me.
Yeah. From a young age, I started playing games from 5, 6. I think the first game I ever played was Mortal Kombat, the Super Nintendo, and then went on to the PlayStation. I played Soul Blade, Soul Edge, Soul Calibur, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, Spider-Man.
You sound like a real fighting game person.
Nah, I was broken out into fighting games from a family, but I don't like fighting games. My number one games right now as a gamer, what impacted me the most, survival horror, RPGs, and first-person shooters. Right, that's what really impacted me. That's where I became good at.
Real don't like survival horrors. I don't know.
Oh boy, me?
But I do
Resident-
love RPGs. Like you see RPGs.
Silent Hill, Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve,
Parasite
Resident
Eve. I
Evil.
remember Parasite Eve. Cool, that is somewhere in my mind right now. I can't remember.
Yeah, old style Dreamcast. I played that. I had a Dreamcast. That was real good.
Sonic 2 was for me for the Dreamcast.
Oh God, yeah, boy, that's my childhood right there.
That's your
Sonic
childhood?
2.
Sonic 2.
Wow.
What do you think about the new Sonic movie? You watch it?
I watched it. It was fun, just to laugh at and thing,
I was laughing at it.
just a comedy. But I don't think they will never portray Sonic to what he really is back in my childhood days. They will never capture that because it's a cash grab for them. It's a cash grab. the only reason they make these things is not for the joy of bringing back the childhood and all the nostalgia feeling to bring that out. It's not about that. It's about money.
I'm a little confused here. Are you talking about Sonic from Sega, the men who originally make it, or the people who made the movie?
The people who make the movie that I'm talking about.
Or the people who make the movie.
It's a cash grab.
Why do you think it's a cash grab though? Because it is a movie, and that kind of have a different rules in production and stuff.
To me, it have two times people let's make movies. They either make movie in two ways, right? They either make it for the purpose of funding only, for money only, or they do it for the love of it. They do it for the love. Just because they were proper fans of that show or movie.
So you're kind of talking about the two different styles of the industry.
Yeah.
The Hollywood and the indie.
Yeah.
Where Hollywood kind of makes big production and they really more focus on what the market wants.
The biggest disrespect in the movie franchise to me is two movie developers, right? The people who made Transformers and the people who made Resident Evil movies. Those movies have absolutely nothing to do with the games or the TV shows. The Transformers series, nothing matched up to the whole franchise. Nothing.
Big fantasy, boyhood fantasy. Just watching them in CGI.
Yeah. I mean, we'd love to see that, but when you hear the story and you see this,
they took a real freedom with the writing. I understand that.
Whoa! I mean, and then Resident Evil to me was a spit in my face. Was a spit in my face because remember I told you, I am a survival horror fan. I have played Resident Evil 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Umbrella Chronicles 2. You understand?
Games that I don't even know.
Look, two more. Revelations 1 and 2.
So you play out the whole saga?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Take one. I don't know.
I know all the characters. I know the whole story ends, where it ties up. You understand? It started with Resident Evil 0, even though it started with Resident Evil 1. It really did start with Resident Evil 0. Right, and I show how the virus developed.
The story here. So
sorry.
Resident Evil 0 was the first one, right?
Yeah. Although the first game created was Resident Evil 1, just Resident Evil.
All right. I see the chaos. I see where it
right.
starts.
But the story begins with Resident Evil 0.
Okay, well,
and how the viruses was created and thing it real interesting. When I read the books too, I read the books too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to bring back the conversation a little bit. Something you was mentioning. In terms of the movie industry, you have like the Hollywood production and the indie studios. What do you think about the same thing for games? Like, do you play a lot of indie titles and stuff like that, or you more like only know the big AAA games and all that stuff?
No, I played a couple of indie titles. I think
what kind of indie titles?
I remember. It had a few indie developers that nobody really knew about when I was younger, and I really did like it.
What games were that?
Slave Zero.
What was Slave Zero?
It was in the company. I think they bankrupt now, but they created a story about it's like Transformers, robotic. But
I was generally hoping that there was a story about slavery.
No, it had slavery in it because it was robotic. See, it had a robotic hierarchy and everything. So your character was a slave. A robot slave who broke out and trying to make his way through this because, being in a robotic society is really difficult, especially when, they basically could see everything, know everything, you know. So it was really interesting as a child. And just to think about it now, it blew my mind. But back then, I was like, wow, this game is really cool, and that was about it.
So you played a game about robots that was in robot slavery.
Yeah.
That was being oppressed by larger robots and all that.
Yeah, different stronger beings and everything. It was really cool. It was really cool.
So that is a hell of a game. And the studio you say was what, Slave Zero?
The name is Slave Zero, but I can't remember the name of the studio. If I could Google it, I could find back, and find out about it.
You had to send me that as a message.
Yeah.
So I could put that into like the research and playing all those games.
Another indie title that I really like. It one called Haven. I played that on PlayStation 2. That is another game that slip under the radar that nobody really know about. Although the game, it was not to the quality that we would like, it was nice to me because it showed a society being oppressed by. Um, a little too loud, the music. A little too loud.
He tweaking, so worry about it. Just sorry, I
Yeah,
heard too, but you can see
it hit me heavy there.
Okay,
Right.
so what he does, which is very interesting, he keeps changing around the tracks and the volumes and all that to kind of get you into like a different focus now. So it helps you build energy and vibration. So if it is that you kind of, the way how he uses music to kind of help with the conversation and how it flows work is a really powerful thing. So kind of embrace it. So if you feel like the vibes get pick up, you pick
All
up.
right. So the story was basically about it's another story like about slavery, but is humans. But I think it was like an alien or almost a little different from us now. But as people, it's a different story. Like elf like people to me.
Get closer to. You gotta get closer to the mic.
Right. So
Yeah, cool down, breathe. We're here, you know.
I'm trying to remember. I taxed my brain a little bit.
Alright, well, line a taxi brain now, because
Okay, if I remember the story, he was like a little child, right? He was about 13, let me say 13, 14 years old. He was like about like 13, 14 years old, and he was like a inventor, but his country or wherever he lived was ruled by a ruling faction. So,
okay.
and they had him like in a kind of slavery like thing too.
Seems like there's a trend with you with
No.
slaves
I
stories,
just
like,
happened to got that game. I just happened to get that game.
and you just happen to get Slave Zero too.
Yeah,
Well, next
Slave
one.
Zero was good.
What's the next game? Kunta Kinte on X or something? Like, what the hell?
No. It happened to be that, but I did really like that game too. Because just the platforming and thing that really caught me as a child.
You play any recently games? What kind of indie games you playing recently? For me, I kind of just played 2 games and they're ultra depressing, but I love them either way. One is called Rhyme, and it just was like, it blew my mind. But at the same time, I was like, this is like the current trend of how indie games are writing. And I was like, was this as a reflection of modern day society and all that stuff? Because to me, indie developers kind of still work with more creativity and expression now. So I love to kind of hear their stories and figure out what their messages that they're putting inside their games. And it kind of made me also kind of reflect on our industry and Trinidad developers. What are we doing and what kind of games you've seen us been playing and all that stuff. Like, honestly, what kind of games you used to play outside of video games?
Games outside of video games. I was good at, when I say games, I play like sporting games. Anything that I would enjoy.
Yes, things like play.
All right, well,
Like, all right.
I like football, cricket. That's my kind of thing. That's my thing. And then me
Dog, I'm gonna stop you there.
and my family made up games too.
I'm gonna stop you there. I used to play water bag war.
What? Water bag war?
So growing up, we used to basically, the neighborhood was started like they would have like these strange neighborhood events where the kids would get together and just like, here's what, we get fed up, the place hot, we're gonna buy those kind of sandwich bags, fill them up. We couldn't afford balloons, but it was sandwich bags, fill them up, and we pelting each other with water bags, dog. Don't be on the streets or you was getting soaked.
Well, boy.
And it got serious. Man, I mean, they got serious. I mean, it had a time. It was 6 p.m. and I kid you not, some people from higher up the hill come through with a drive-by with a white panel van, pull out, and you just see buckets with water bag and just lacing me on the wall. Jet. It was like, it got seriously tactical, but was freaking fun. We had men get tied down to a lamppost and then dousing with water until he cried. It was serious war with these children through water. Jet. I was like, and
wow.
Yeah, that was vibes.
Now here, I understand what you mean, but here we used to do. We used to wait till school over, all the teachers gone, right? I used to go back into the school. Let's say about 20 something of us. And this is where we used to play extreme hide and seek. Now, this hide and seek is the best hide and seek ever because the lights are not on and things just happen. But we're not going into that.
This is
but
still relatively.
I know.
Actually,
Now listen, right? This is where it gets better because the hide and seek now that you could use the guise of darkness. You see how intelligent children could be.
it was like ninjas.
Yes.
And you're hiding from security
imagine,
guard too.
Because the security guard don't want no children in school after hours.
So you jump wall to go
Yeah.
back in school to play extreme hide and seek.
Yes. And but just imagine you looking for somebody and they're right in front of your face and you can't see them.
That is like vibes. Like I can see that like a professional.
No.
I can see that like a professional league.
Yes.
Where you see like everybody in like this big compound, and you have the seeker who has night vision goggles. And you have
Yeah.
the hiders who probably had to hide.
Right.
That
Right.
real bad.
Now just imagine the person looking for us and me and another boy looking at each other want to laugh so hard because he passing right in front of us and can't see us. What my virgin right on top the cupboard, like creeped up so, and he just sitting there, not moving. But because it's darkness and he not making any movements, sudden movements, he ain't hearing nothing. The person, he not picking up on it. It's perversion and all that. But that was so good.
I wanted to play
Boy, that hide and seek was so good. So good. I played hide and seek up till I was 16, 17 years old.
Dog, that's tactical warfare.
First, it was so good. It was so good. The hide and seek was so good. Yeah. The hide and seek, it was getting better and better because we keep thinking of, we keep going different places and we keep keeping the game going now, boy. You ever watch this movie, Tag?
I never watched you talk about. I heard that story of these men who was playing tag
for their whole entire lives. Up to grown, married.
Hide and seek, yes.
Hide and seek could be carried on for your whole life. Hide and seek was real good because it keep getting better and better as you get older. As you get older, you get smarter, you get wiser, you're using different tactics. So it was getting better and better as we getting older.
Going back to like tactical thinking there, what do you think you learn from that, playing those kind of games? Like that extreme hide and seek, I'm just like seeing that the pressure of just hiding from a security guard.
Yeah. When he hearing children in the school, he know children in the school, he coming looking for us.
Did anybody get caught?
Yes.
What happened to him? What happened to the Okay, here's the question. Did anybody get caught and did he sell out the rest of the unit?
No, you cannot do that.
That is a soldier.
Yeah, you can never do that.
You can't
never
get
do that.
caught because it's hide and seek.
Yeah, it's coming like you basically in Vietnam there. You can't give out information on your soldiers. You have to keep up. You have to keep it up. And no matter how the guard threaten you, he can't do you nothing. You got to call your parents. You don't know your parents' number. I don't know. Where you live in home. Right? You understand? And if he put on that soldier to go and look for me, he gone again. You understand?
So you got to do it and you got to run. But then the morning you get real punished.
Well, it depends if you get catch. He didn't catch any of us. I never get caught. I have never been caught in hide and seek up to this day by a security guard.
We're not talking about which school and we're not talking about which alright, so you'll keep that anonymous, but that is vibes. That is I am jealous I didn't think of that. That song's really, really, really awesome.
Yeah.
What are the games I used to play community-wise? Oh, we used to have community Mario Kart. That used to be serious. When I say serious,
I understand, yes. That we didn't have a community version, but we definitely had a group of us. No,
that's what I mean about community.
I had the PlayStation. My friend had the Nintendo 64. He had Mario Kart, Smash Brothers. I had Need for Speed, and a few other games that was really interesting at the time. That was flowing at the time. But the Mario Kart, yeah. The reason it was at that point.
Especially if you get on the 64, dog.
It reached a point where people literally couldn't make one mistake in the whole race. Not one mistake. One mistake, of course, in the whole race because they're not catching back their friends and them. They're moving real fast. They're making sure they win. Men know how to play the game, know how to use the shells, know when the right timing, when to place bananas, when to pick the right places, know all the shortcuts.
Tactical driving.
Yeah. Know how to drift to perfection.
Dude, I remember I was not learning how to drift there, dog. But no, I used to play like chaotic. I never used to enjoy like perfecting. I used to enjoy screwing up other people to win. But not in the bad sense. It's like
Yeah.
I'm an off-meta player. If anything, if you know playing games with me, I would never stick to no kind of script.
Yeah.
If everybody telling me that.
And I think that's the best part. I like playing with you in certain teams, especially when you used to play COD. I always like playing with you because you always find out with the most honest ways to win, and it come true for us plenty times, especially against players who were even better than us. Because you remember it had Levi and it had Alpha, and they were more advanced in that, and we still managed to pull the win. You understand?
I remember this one time we played Battlefield. Oh yeah. This is the first time I learned to play special. There was an option called Special Forces.
Yeah.
I was carrying around nothing but a pistol and a C4. And Levi was watching me. I was like, what the fuck you doing? Because I just jump out of a plane with a parachute by myself. Watch the plane crash. And because like I had a plan where everybody was focusing on the war, I would have gone with the C4 and tried to place it right by their flag and blow it off for us to win the point. No. And Levi is watching me complaining because he needs support from a sniper while I'm not giving him no kind of air support. But I managed to plant the C4 and win the game, dog. I think. I can't remember that. I know Levi was just hating me because it's like, you always saying like, I got a plan. You always have a plan, but you're never fucking with the team. Games.
Hey, listen to me. There's always a plan in everything. Trust me.
Yeah, but I'm more like concerned about the game itself. Not necessarily the plan, but more like
the fun of the game itself,
the
right?
experience. Why do we play games? I mean, if we look back at all the stories that we just shared just now, a lot of it is tactical thinking, like high level tactical thinking that exercise your brain, dog. I mean, extreme hide and seek course.
It was amazing.
You could say it. It was a friggin' amazing. It was thrilling.
You don't understand the joy I get from remembering that. Because it was so good to me.
For me, water bag, water. Like
I played that already. I played a little water wars here and there because we had water guns and
yeah. But you ever get hold on from a 19-year-old when you was like probably about 14 and a wedgie? I was the shortest man, and they realized I'm the mastermind and I trying to coordinate shit. So they instinct fear to my freaking unit by grabbing me and lifting me up. Like, is this your king? Is this your king? And you know,
puny god.
You know what's the real fuck up part? I remember that, and I remember watching all my brethren run away. Just like, because there was nothing we could do. He was like the biggest person, like the biggest one in the
world. All right, let me give you a story, right? Because usually me and my friend was the older ones, right? We was against my brother and all his friends. Now we playing a game, Lemon War. We jump in the neighbor yard. He had a couple of lemon trees, although we never tell him up to this day. He would hate us for that because you know lemon is an expensive fruit. Understand? So me and my brethren jump over into the yard, pick up some lemon, and we just lying down in the bush, waiting for my brother and them to go and coordinate and make their plan. Right? And I see any boy coming up to my brother and saying, yeah, boy, hey, man, Alan and them around the corner, so. And next one, my brother saying, all right, we're going to go over on that side and blah, 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 doing anything. And he don't know me and my brethren coming closer and closer, getting we lemon ready. And I just remember that scream he let out when he feel a hot lemon to your back. You ever feel a hot lemon on your back?
And I do want to know.
Brother, throwing, I don't know, the speed we just throw these things at. But I remember the impact from the time hit him, how he back turn, how he scream, his eyes open up big, tears come out, the eyes start to run. My brother is always the man to get off the scene. He will never be caught doing anything. Never.
Oh, wow, that was a serious question.
Speed. Real speed. Like melt out. Immediately. He don't care if... And I'm going to tell you something. For some reason, as a child, we used to have fun antagonizing people too. So it had a person, right? Who used to live in the back of us. He was some sort of a drunkard. You understand? An old man, drunk, always coming home drunk all the time, doing all kind of weird shit. You know what I'm saying? So we used to go there and antagonize him. harass him and thing as he get drunk. He used to come outside, blah, I want to come and meet, blah, blah, and then flinging bottle, all kind of thing. My brother was always the person that when you turn around, say, hey, where is? Gone. Done off the scene already. That time he catching up to us to that breakdown house. I run up the back of the house. Me and my brethren climb up on top of the roof and watching my little brethren. And I saying, hey boy, come up, climb up the wall, boy. Climb up the wall, hurry up before you come and get here, boy. He stick. He got hold. Of course, he get some hard ring bang for all of us.
Probably went back and watched you guys and be like, I hate you guys for this.
Now, here is the worst part about it. My cousin was with us that day. Now, she's a nice girl. Everybody like my cousin. No, he should have run up the wall with us because now she see you getting ring bang from a madman and he was supposed to run when he had the chance. Because he was so cowardly, so afraid to climb the wall because it have boys just come in different calibers. To me, I just watch it like caliber, right? Sorry if I'm making it like that. Some boys could climb, run, jump, physically fit. I was always a fit child, right?
I was wild.
I was very fit.
I was real wild.
Very fit.
I don't know if I was fit, but I know I was wild.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, continue your story.
So, yeah, we could climb walls. We climbing up that wall easy. Climb onto the roof and go on down. Climb down the next side. I understand. My brother done disappear off the scene long time. He's the last man there. I told him come up the wall. I said, come, let me hold your hand. I make it so much for him. I give him so much help. I come to the wall. I said, come, give me a hand. Come. I see the man coming and I said, boy, hurry up. And as I see the man walk through the door and see me, I said, that's it there. It's over.
Make your peace now. Just like you just see like slow music just happen. Real dramatic effects. Sadness in his eyes. As he know he fucked up. It's like,
he real fucked up. Yeah, no, my cousin real laugh at you and thing. Oh well.
Anyhow, we're bringing it back to games and I guess how the conversation moved into like games and how for us it was like war games I'm really touching on. Like the tactical experience, the thrill of living on the edge as a child because for us these things were on the edge.
Yeah.
Like
Me and my brother, we was like the mischief kings, but everything was done tactically. It was almost like me and my brother was like special forces of mischief. You understand me?
Special forces of mischief.
Yeah.
You sound like your mother probably watch you and be like, the fuckers.
The STF, the special.
I love them. They're my children, but fuck.
Yeah. We always doing the mischief task force. We doing something weird.
Would you consider that critical thinking though?
Yes, because at a lot of times we had to make some critical decisions to get out of it. Now imagine me and my brother have slingshots. And some workers working down the hill. Now, it's a whole hill we climb, We climb up the side of the hill and we going up and we seeing men working down the hill. And we taking stone, slingshot, and we slinging it at the vehicles and them playing down there. We hear them cussing and things, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, we see them jumping the van and driving up the hill coming over we.
Dog.
What? Boy, me and my brother run down the side of the hill. Now, we had to lie down at the edge of between a drain and all kind of thing, hide and cut through the hill and make it through the mountainside and thing.
Question.
Yeah.
Where do you think you apply that now? Because something interesting happened to me the other day too where I met a pan man. You understand pan?
A little bit more.
What you understand?
Mother was in pan.
You was in pan?
Yeah.
Which kind of pan?
She was the tenor pan.
Not just, I talking about pan, dog. I'm not talking about pan as in what we do for carnival, but I'm talking about pan, the culture of pan and the origin.
The culture of pan?
The origin of pan.
I think I know about how it was started from an oil drum and I can't remember the person's name who started it and
that was pan was war, you know.
Yeah.
Like pan is a war drum. Like the more I think about it, the more I really kind of explore it.
Yeah.
Like the stories and all that stuff. It is a war drum. It is a war style music.
He told me different pan groups. A music teacher that I spoke to when I was in my younger days, learning my trades. He told me that when he was there as a young child growing up in pan, different pan groups, as they play better and better and thing and they learn the thing, they used to have wars and thing and eventually start war. You understand? Off of panting and it turned serious, and a lot of things came from that.
Now, you think that culture is reflected from, like, for me, is like,
Like a war drum.
well, it's not about necessarily the war drum, but that pan, Jed, like, you think it's like because of, I don't know,
You know what I think?
what do you think?
This is just my own thing, right? I think percussion sends a kind of a rhythm in us. You understand? The type of beats and how we play it and the drama behind it. I don't know if it resonates with us. Speeds my heart. Sends oxytocin to us, dopamine and all of
All
that.
that fancy shit.
Yeah, I think it just raises our vibrations and
But
sometimes sometimes that could be done in a negative light too.
So you think pan was positive or negative, or it was both?
I feel
'Cause
I
think
feel it.
right now there's like two different types of pan that's like actually creating itself.
I feel pan itself do not have a positive or a negative, but it depends on the individual how they take it.
Just like any kind of music, really. So
Yeah.
it's just an instrumental
Yeah.
direction. Do you think for us as a people, we've actually been taking the culture of pan and growing it? From your,
yeah.
because at this point in time, think about it. You're not in pan.
Uh-huh.
You kind of only understand pan outside of
Yeah.
carnival. Well, in carnival and that steel orchestra and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But the history of pan and where it come from and all that stuff, you're not really in
And-
pan, but you're
yeah.
in pan.
Yeah, yeah.
If you understand what
yeah,
I mean.
yeah, I understand.
So it's like, what's happening with it? Is it really something that has evolved and all that stuff? And I really didn't want to take it to this direction, but I guess we're here because pan is something people play, and play was something we used to love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I honestly think that pan, I think it evolved. It definitely evolved because things don't ever stay stagnant in life just so. Because the new generation, with new things will come with the new generation, right? But I think,
do you think we have it, or do you think we lost it?
I think we haven't lost it yet. But if we're not careful, we could. Because I feel the new generation, although some people still stick with it, it's being forgotten in certain areas.
What do you mean?
In certain areas, people don't even acknowledge this. You understand? Something, a musical instrument that started right here. You understand? Is that
Not
supposed to
necessarily
be?
about acknowledging that it started here, but what is he considering the traditions of it? Like, I like pan, but for me, I like that hand pan, that new sound of that slow meditation practices.
Right. That's what I think too. I think when they're using pan for only the carnival season. But I think pan could be used for more than that. I think one pan, just the song and the note of it, the song so sweet by itself, and they could use that for all kind of different music, and
I
they're
mean,
not
they
really
do use
applying
it,
it.
you know, but we don't apply it. Like, what
Yeah.
I want to say we. I'm not fully a pan man. I like percussion, and I would dabble in my percussion in my little ways. I love hand percussives,
Uh-huh.
but in terms of like me listening to pan and all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
it is a lot. I love it, but it's a lot.
I
Do you think that's where pan has been going, or where's it going? Especially now in this whole climate, can we still use pan that way, or would that is what being lost? It's kind of confusing if I'm trying to say, but I'm basically saying that pan has evolved in a way that we don't understand. Meaning that the pan we know is not the pan that is being received now. Like the pan that we know growing up with, how
I think it's because the generation
it's
changed.
a war drum and a peace drum. One is a pan for us was like a war cry, a celebration for carnival. We love that steel orchestra. Pan now, what people like is more that meditative, that Caribbean, that so-called sweet,
Caribbean beat, yeah.
that sweet love way.
Yeah.
Do we really develop on that kind of that experience of pan, or are we thinking that pan is just this one idea? And if we know pan, what's the purpose of these two pans? Like,
I think
because I relevant, like when I met this pan man, I was like really thinking about pan, like as a drummer or like a jazz man, like a blues guy. When you really know pan, what do you really know about pan? Like, what is its purpose? If pan motivates you in warlike drums, then yeah, we'll play that kind of da-da-da, no, that's real. But if a pan is something like soothing, because if you look at Hindi and all that stuff, you do hear hand pan and they don't do these big notes. They just do these soft
The simple
dun,
beats, right?
dun, dun,
Mm-hmm.
dun. And has pan evolved like that? Do we have these two cultures of pan? Are we supposed to have pan evolve like that? These questions are curious to me.
But I don't think we will ever lose what pan was originally for. I
What
think
was pan originally for?
Just the same steel orchestra.
Really?
I think it
don't
will stay
like-
so.
I don't like pan for steel orchestra. Big man thing is real loud for me. I used to live Belmont, and pan for me for carnival as a child was obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I totally agree with you.
I was like, the fuck, my parents love that shit.
My parents love it too, and to tell you the truth,
No,
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Pan and an orchestra is way too loud for me. For me to even understand the beat sometimes, and then it's way too loud. It really does hurt me. And I am a person who suffers with chronic headaches. I'm sorry. Chronic headaches.
no, that's not me saying that I don't like pan when it's in a small
Right.
orchestra.
I love that too. I love when it's 1-2 pan.
Or
I
probably
could
like at least
enjoy
4 or
that.
5 and you get all the different variations.
And I could
you
hear
can
the notes and hear the different styles and the highs and the lows. But then when it's so much at once, it literally throws my rhythm off. And I can't focus. You know that? Have you ever been tortured by noise?
You are talking to the choir, or what I say, preaching to the choir at that point in time. You see noise? It
I've
is very
been
stressful.
tortured by noise.
Dog,
That is what
carnival.
I think pan is. When there's a whole orchestra, especially up close, it literally, my body just had a shake and I feel uncomfortably thrown out of rhythm.
That's so interesting how you use those choices of words, because that kind of also make me think about noise and carrying a conversation about high level of noise, like the
Mhm.
concentration of what is noise to you, like that. Besides using pan and instruction, we kind of realize that we kind of want 2 pans and blah 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 blah.
All right. I think once it's not just something is loud, because something loud wouldn't really bother me. But you see when it's multiple different pitch and sounds happening at the same time, I don't know if it literally disturbs me. It disturbs me, and I don't understand why. I never understand why.
Can't focus, maybe it's too much noise.
Yeah.
Like, if there's everybody, for me, it's like when I hear noise and I take in noise on the general split, because I'm gonna go real big on politics, because politics is noise.
Mhm.
If anytime we had our PNC and UNC voting and all that stuff, and I'm not really going on politics here because I did not vote and I don't vote for something I don't want and I don't want neither, and that's my kind of experience there. Don't think of it like I don't want to vote. I want to vote, but at the same time,
I want something new.
I want something new.
Yeah.
I generally can't play this game anymore with these people.
Yeah.
And that is just me on my own little personal bias, and don't take that as me making any kind of political statement and all that stuff, but that's just my stance. Don't care about neither PNM or UNC, and that to me is noise. The way how and I'm moving the noise from it just being sound, but just overbearing.
To me, that is energy draining.
Boy,
Both of them. Because I can see the negatives on both sides. And what I notice is the supporters, they're seeing what they want to see. And then the other party sees another. And both people just come together to make one big noise to me.
but
And it really energy draining, and I don't even like to carry on that topic. That politics and religion, I can't do it. I can't.
sometimes these
do
are the
it.
topics we have to kind of talk to, because our opinions need to kind of start circulating in some kind of conversation. In the sense that, how I see it, we are challenged by this institution.
Mhm.
In the sense that, and I guess I'm going to go on a real intellectual blah blah blah, but we grew up in a system that did not teach us about politics or law,
Mm-hmm.
but expects us to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So, what am I voting for? If my vote has so much of power, but
Mhm.
these people who are in power are using it in ways that I cannot understand, or at least feel comfortable about.
I think they just what it does. We brought you through this institution. We teach you basically all the political needs and wherever you see you want it. And it just wherever you come out, you follow either you follow your parents or your family or your friends.
Got a closing points here.
Okay.
Let's bring it back to games.
Mm-hmm. You know, I something that really resonated with me is I just watch how my life has changed. That how as growing older as an individual, I noticed that my whole taste in gaming have changed over the years. As a child, I enjoyed platformers, racing games, fighting. But as I got older, to my teenage years, I saw myself being more into the survival horrors, RTS games,
For me,
role-playing games too.
yeah, and for me, boy, it's like I started to see everything as games, though.
Yeah,
Like that's how I just like see the world. Like I can understand games.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand games a lot too.
And I think that's the good point to end.
Yeah.
Oi. Oi.